I'll tell you one more surprisingly difficult part of Little Big Planet, um, was the save data. So on PlayStation, again, I'm going to get some of this wrong because it's a long time ago, but there was this notion of game data and save data. And save data was the thing that used to go into memory cards and was associated with your player profile and had various advantages. And the obvious place to put your levels and your creations was in your save data. However, save data had this incredibly convoluted API to use it. And it was incredibly slow, and no one at PlayStation could really explain why. And I remember being bitten by the bug, which is that the QA for a game on PlayStation 3 was that if they ejected the disc, you had to shut the game down within 10 seconds, which I think is fine. And so we'd have to struggle to make the game shut down gracefully within 10 seconds. But there was another rule written by somebody else that said, if you quit the game, you have to save data, any profile changes or any important changes to the user. And then someone else had written that if you were playing multiplayer with 4 people plugged in, you also had to do it for all people who were logged in. And then I discovered that it took 3 seconds, between 2.5 and 3 seconds, to simply open and then close and do nothing to the save data. So I wrote to them and I said, you do realize that you have a rule that says it's got to be done within 10 seconds, which is fine. It's got to be for all players up to 4, which is fine. And did you know that your API is so slow that it takes 3 seconds to do nothing, which is 3 times 4, which is 12 seconds, which is more than 10 seconds. So we fail your 10-second rule, or we fail your saving rule. What are we going to do? And by the way, I want to do more than nothing. I want to save all of your levels. You might have, a whole moon's worth of levels. And basically they said, we have no solution for you. And so we had to switch from save data to game data and store all of your creations in the game data, which was larger and faster and easier to use, but wasn't associated to a user account. So then we had to add export and various other things. And the little farks and big farks were to do with which API you had to use. And so basically the save data was to do with exporting to USB sticks and that sort of stuff. And that would be a little fark. And then there were big farks I made, which is to do with game data. And then there were even bigger farks, which are the ones that were built at Media Molecule and used for DLC. So there were many types of fark, and they're all a weird side effect of the strange PlayStation 3 storage architecture, which was an accident of probably dating back to PlayStation 1, but I don't know how any of that worked. So there you go. There's a bit of history.